What's going, everyone? It is me, the ex-Wither, and today we're doing What If Bell? What If Springtrap? You guys wanted this, so here it is. For Technoblade, What If? Part 4 will be releasing in 2 days. Sorry if I don't sound really motivated to do this, I'm like tired right now, but I take medication, so in 1 hour it should kick in, so let's get into this. We go to Freddy Fazbear's Fright, which the place was burning down because William Afton thought that Springtrap person was his father, but it wasn't. In fact, he did not even try to kill Afton, or Michael Afton. He just wanted to ask him what the year was. How long has he been dead? But we cut to him sitting in the corner as the whole building's burning on fire. And he says his words. 30 years. That's how long I've been trapped in this damn suit. Afton. I thought it would be just a simple disassembly job, but I was sorely mistaken. I hate it. When I find you, Afton, I will kill you. Besides, the souls here have already been freed by the fire. But I have the fragments of all their souls. 3 the most powerful with powers are still supernatural. Golden Freddy, Marionette, and Phantom Freddy. Oh, like guys, okay? Like Phantom Freddy fight from FNAF 2. Well, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna die here, finally. As he closes his eyes for like that sweet relief of death, but all of a sudden he can hear a huge explosion right beside him. And when he looked to his left, he saw a huge hole, and he looked surprised and happy. So he got up and began running towards it. However, a piece of rubble stuck into his leg, but however, did not slow him down. He jumped through the hole just in time. His whole building collapsed on that time. He's like, I did it. I'm free. As he looks to a piece of rubble stuck in his leg, he decides to grab it and pull it out, which he does scream like the classic Springtrap, like jump scare. It's like, Argh! As when he pulled it out, he threw it away. He's like, damn. He looks at his leg. He's pretty lucky because his leg's not damaged at all. It's just had another hole into where the outer shell was completely ripped, but it did hit some of his dead flesh, though. Even though the dead flesh was dead, you could still feel it somehow. As he gets up, he looks around. He finds something by the garbage. A cloak. So he decides to put that on, and his rabbit ears, he cuts little holes for his rabbit ears. He puts them on, and he just begins walking. It's currently in the middle of the night still. It's currently 2 a.m. Sorry if I keep saying it's something I can't help with. So as he was wandering around the city, he made sure to hide in the alleyways. And he noticed one thing that was in an alleyway. It was a box. As he opened it, he found, like, almost 15 mini plush traps. Why I'm giving him this? Because someone left their plush trap order and they forgot it there for like 2 years and the box was never recovered, so yeah. As Springtrap touches all of them, they all come to life. Because they just, when they first activate, they see just this. They just see Springtrap. And they think that it's their daddy. Because it is a children's toy. And they will imprint on you by your appearance. Since Springtrap is wearing a bunny suit and looks almost like them, it would not be surprised if they think he was his daddy, or not his whatever creator. No, I'm gonna say creator because it's much more better. I swear to God, guys. Okay. If I see Springtrap. So I see Springtrap, Bell as a dad, spam 3 times, I will do that. And I'll bring those little children to the munch. Oh, wait, okay. I'll explain how I bring them little push-ups to the munchie, but anyway. As Springtrap, as all the plushies come to life and look at him, saying, Papa? All of them say, and Bill's you can't see it, but he's blushing right now. I was like, but I don't even have a girlfriend yet. And you realize, oh wait, I don't have a girlfriend yet because I'm 30 years old. As Belle begins scavenging around the box, which all the plush traps are walking behind him. As he pulls what was in the box, or what was in there, and it was a Nintendo Switch, which was pretty much peculiar. He says, "What is this?" As one of the plush traps says, "Oh, Daddy, Father, Creator, Father, those are called Nintendo Switches." As Belle looks, is oh, Nintendo Switches, eh? I must say, the time here is much advanced in my era. As Belle tries to open it, tries to press the button, but then he notices something. His bag started to glow with the fractured souls in it. As he grabs his bag pouch, as he pulls out the souls begin going into the Nintendo Switch, fusing with it. And when his screen turns on, he looks at it. He just sees another world. It's not a game at all anymore. He's like, "Did the souls fuse with this game, granting the NPC's life?" Huh, interesting. As the 3 souls, the Golden Freddy soul and the Puppet soul, little pieces broke off. Just one shard broke off of the Golden one, the Phantom one, and the Puppet one. And they fused into the game. However, Springtrap had the full versions of it. So those souls are created gods with that. However, when Springtrap looked at the 3 fractured souls that he had, the souls fused into his hand, fusing inside of his body. As he dropped the Nintendo Switch, as one of his children grabbed it, one of the plush traps grabbed it, he began trying not to scream. But after 2 hours, the pains finally stopped. As he looked at his body, he felt stronger than anything. He felt more powerful. He even felt that he could even take on the world, which was pretty peculiar. As Springtrap looked if there's anything else in the box, he did find one thing. Another thing, it was a backpack. As Springtrap's like wondering, like, I can't leave these guys here. So Springtrap said to his, oh, what quote unquote children, just like, get into this backpack, kids. We're going somewhere. As they all say, yes, Daddy. As the one Springtrap that has a Nintendo Switch gives it to Springtrap. Like, thank you, little one. As that one goes into a backpack as well. As Springtrap zips the backpack, he looks at the time. It is currently 4 a.m. So he decides to get out of the city and go somewhere that was abandoned for years. As he goes to the old FNAF 2 place, it was abandoned, broken down. However, when he went there, he saw so much decay that he couldn't believe how much he was gone for. As he's like sighs and unzips a backpack and tells his children to clean up the place, help him clean up the place. It took him about an hour, so it's now 5 a.m. So Bo has some time and decides to find any parts from the old broken down animatronics that are there. He does find some parts, and since he is a disassembly like guy, he can also reassemble them, and he's pretty much a good tech guy. So, as he knows if it gets 6 a.m., his whole body will shut down, which will suck for him. And that's when how Bell's gonna correct that. As Bell begins tinkering with the system, or what was left of it, he begins taking out a little device that is in his chest. He begins tinkering with it, and he looks at the setting it was on. It was on performance mode, 6 a.m. As he changed it to free roam, so aka he won't be able to shut down. As he puts that back in, he looks at the Nintendo Switch like flashing again. And of course, this Nintendo Switch, since it's a world in there, it does not require the power source to power it all. So Springtrap's like, So he grabs the device and begins pulling out the little chip that has the world in it. And he installs that into his device. And as he was doing this, he looks up in the sky with his eyes and sees the whole city. Because in this Jumanji game, I'm gonna say this one Bell, the original Bell, died because this Bell does not have a soul, so he died as an NPC. But this gave Springtrap a chance to go there. As Springtrap says to his children that he's going to go take a little nap for a while, as the children agrees, as he goes into the parts and service room and closes his eyes, when he wakes up, he's in the body. He gets up and he's coughing. That's when Eyes Holstein just turned around. She sees that this person was alive now, and she says, "Thank God." As she comes over to him and just says, "Are you alright? You took that Minotaur attack pretty heavily." As Bell looks at her, all he could just be is what the fuck is this shit in his mind? She is beautiful, but if he was in his younger years, he wouldn't fall head over heels for her. But as Bell gets up, yeah, I'm fine. As he says, "Thank you for saving me," which he didn't know what the fuck she saved him from, because he just did not know any information about Damachi, the dumb fuck. As Bell begins, getting all the information from this dead body, or aka Bell's corpse, it was like a copy of his body, but except his hair was white, and his eyes were a bright ruby. And in the world that he was in, or he died in, his hair was completely black, and his eyes were completely blue. As he goes down the stairs, which the Belle's like memories could recall about him being a goddess, and which got like Springtrap's mind like, so there are goddesses here, huh? Interesting. I wonder if that data will go to my body when I wake up. As he gets down, he just sees Ina. He says, "Hi, Ina." As Ina's like, "Hey, little Belle." As Ina sees Belle completely covered in blood, it's like, "Belle, what happened? Are you okay?" As Belle's like, "Yeah, I encountered a minotaur." As Ina's jaw drops, like, "What?" 5 minutes later, you're like, "Belle, don't you do that again." We got Belle from after getting cleaned up. As he's like saying like, "Oh shit, oh shit, oh god, what was the word for this?" I know back in the 1970s, what was the word for this? As Mina's like yelling at him, he's like trying to think like, it's what's the word? Is it iskunkai or isekai? Because I'm gonna say back in those days, there was an anime that had that, but it was extremely old. As he's like, "God damn, I've been isekai'd." So that's all he's been like doing. So as he then begins like saying, "Ina, I'm fine. I'm alive, right?" As Ina's like, "Yeah, but Belle, make sure you don't do that again, okay?" "You have me worried there," Ina says. As Belle's like, "Whoa." And his head's like, "Whoa, she really cares about this bot guy." I would hate to tell her that this guy died, and I'm currently possessing his body. As Belle begins like getting up and like saying, like bowing, like, "Sorry, Ina, this won't happen again." As Ina says, "Good. Now, I think you should go visit your goddess. She's probably worried about you." As Belle's like, "Goddess?" As the memories from the body are coming to him, like, "Oh, that girl." As he begins going to the church, and he's like, he looks down the alley and he's like, "Okay, the button should be right here? Question mark. As he hits the button, the secret passageway opens. He says, "Yes! I was right." As he begins walking towards the abandoned church, he notices that this other side of the city is abandoned, which is, it's like, pretty interesting. But at least the hope of the church looks bad. I mean, it looks good, not that bad. As he sees the church, he looks at it, it's like, "Oh, it's better than anything. Better than the place I was in. At least it does not have any doors that you can trap or are trapped in." As he goes in, he just sees Hestia sitting on the pedestal. As she turns around and she says, "Belle!" As he lunges at him, and Belle's like simply like dodges and is like, "Ow, Belle, what'd you do that for?" Hestia says. As Belle's like, "Sorry, Hestia. Reflex." So she's like, "Reflex? That's new. He never dodged my hugs before." Oh, yeah. Belle's soul looks exact same, but let's just say when he uses his powers, his soul will change to a gold, purple, and a marionette. I don't know what. I'm gonna say like it changes to like Belle's soul, but with purple stripes around it. As he begins as they go downstairs, and she begins like updating his status. And the one thing she notices is that she has a skill, Argonaut, and another skill, or for that was phrase. And she knows that there's another skill, the I am the purple guy, and the third one, Phantom, Golden Freddy, Puppet Master, Puppet Maker. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. As she's like wondering how did Belle get these skills. She's quite impressed, but also It showed him he was still 16 and Bell Cornell, which Bell's name was Bell still in his other world, but he could not remember his second name. So Bell's like, so that was my name, eh? As he got the piece of paper from his goddess, which goddess Hestia is like, looks like you've grown a bit, Bell. As as she like tries to like pry more information of how he got strong, Bell's like, I don't really care. As Bell like decides to like go to sleep for a bit and decides to go for the dungeon again. He wants to see what monsters are like there, because the part of bodies he was possessing is pretty gone, or most of the information is pretty gone because the body died for about 2 seconds, aka the brain begins dying with the information. How long have this video been going for? 21 minutes. Fuck it. We'll go to episode 2. As Bell gets up to the lower floors, he then wondered if he could change his springtrap form, change to his springtrap form. As he concentrates, his body turned into a robotic bunny, which was far stronger than he thought. As he saw the first monster lunge at him, it was an orc, or a goblin. As he grabs the head with insane speed and crushes it. As Bell looks at... No, you know what I said about the skills? Fuck it, on episode 2 I'll make what the skills are called. And combine them, okay? As he begins going insane, he begins killing monsters at the lower floor in an insane rate. As he exhausted now, which surprised him because he thought he could never feel exhausted over again. It was nice. In all his years, he's glad he's hurting all over. As he changes to his human form, as he begins like walking back down, and hands his crystals to Ina, which Ina was shocked because there was more than he got before. And Ina looked at him and was like, she noticed one thing about him that was changed. He looked at her with a serious face, not of that of a cute face. It was like he was a totally different person, but he still acted the way he sometimes did. As Ina gave him about like $200, as Bell's like, Ina-sama, are you sure this is the vows I got? Like shakes her head like, yes, Bell, you got this much. As Bell's like, woohoo, I can buy lots of things for the guys and everything. But however, Bell's just putting up an act like, I gotta keep up the act. And one wrong move and I'll fuck up. But anyway, I think we'll be ending it there. If you think this was a dead what if, I am terribly sorry for that. But thank you for enjoying. I hope you enjoyed. If you did like this, please support my work. And I'll talk to you on my next video. Goodbye.